There is a cat alive right now that has not touched a single drop of water in over 3 months. It is not dying. It is not desperate. It is hunting. And the place it calls home reaches temperatures that would kill you in under 20 minutes. That cat weighs less than 2 kilograms. It fits in your lap. It looks honestly like something you might find sleeping on a couch. And it has outlasted almost every predator that ever tried to compete with it. This is the sand cat, Felis margarita, named after a French general, not a drink, not a flower, a military officer who first encountered it in the Algerian Sahara in 1858. He had never seen anything like it. Neither had science. Neither really have we. Because the more researchers study this animal, the more they realize that what looks small and soft on the outside is, underneath, one of the most precisely engineered survival machines the natural world has ever produced. But here is the thing nobody mentions first. The sand cat did not adapt to the desert. It did not move in when conditions got tough and learn to cope. It went further than that. It specifically chose the parts of the desert that everything else gave up on. The soft, open sand seas, called ergs, where dunes shift constantly, where there is no rock to shelter behind, no dry riverbed to follow, no shade except what you dig for yourself. Every other cat species on Earth found a way to avoid terrain like that. The sand cat walked straight into it and decided to stay forever. Why would any living thing do that? The answer is stranger than you expect. And before you have finished wondering about it, here is something else to carry. Scientists spent decades studying this animal and genuinely could not find it. Not because it was gone, not because it was hiding deep underground. It was right there, in open desert, moving around every single night. And trained researchers with professional equipment kept missing it completely. An animal that lives in open, flat, featureless terrain managed to become effectively invisible to science for generations. That is not a mystery that gets solved quickly. Hold on to it. First, let us understand what the desert is really asking of any animal that wants to live there. It is not just heat. It is a system that attacks life from every direction simultaneously. The surface temperature of open sand in the Sahara can exceed 60 degrees Celsius in summer. Your shoes would start to deform. The air pulls moisture from your lungs with every breath. The difference between day temperature and night temperature can swing by 40 degrees in a single rotation of the Earth. Water, which every mammal on the planet needs to survive, is absent for hundreds of kilometers in every direction. Food is sparse, camouflaged, and often dangerous. Most animals that live in deserts survive by cheating the worst of it. They go nocturnal. They find shade. They stay near the rare water sources. They limit how far they travel. They pick habitats with some rock, some structure, some protection. The sand cat does not cheat. It competes directly, and it wins. Start with the water problem, because that is the one that should be impossible to solve. The sand cat's kidneys are built to extract and retain moisture at a level that most mammals cannot approach. Urine is concentrated to the extreme, wasting almost nothing. Moisture from prey, the blood, the soft tissue, the organs, is processed and held with extraordinary efficiency. The cat drinks when water is available. But when it is not, which is most of the time, the body simply adjusts. It has done this for so long that the adjustment is now permanent. The machinery itself is different. You are not looking at an animal that is coping with dehydration. You are looking at an animal that redefined what hydration means. Now look at the feet. The bottom of each paw is covered in thick, dense fur, a feature almost unique among wild cats. When you press your bare foot onto sand at 60 degrees, the surface burns instantly. The sand cat's fur acts as a complete insulating layer, blocking that heat transfer entirely. But the fur does something else too. It distributes the animal's weight across a larger surface area. The paws do not punch down into loose sand, they float across it. The cat moves across terrain so soft that you would sink to your ankles, and it barely disturbs the surface. This also makes it nearly silent. Every footfall is absorbed. There is no crunch, no scrape, no impact. It walks through open desert like a thought passing through a room. And then the ears. They are too big. Genuinely, proportionally too big for the animal's head. They sweep and rotate independently, constantly adjusting, reading the air for information. A desert gerbil moving under the surface of the sand 20 meters away produces vibrations that travel through the ground and the air simultaneously. The sand cat's ears catch both. It triangulates. It turns its head in tiny, precise increments, locking onto a position. And then it moves, not with the slow, careful stalk of a leopard or a lion, but with a fast, flat, ground-hugging sprint that ends almost before the prey knows it has begun. It hunts snakes this way. Venomous ones, horned vipers, animals whose bite can kill a full-grown human, are a regular part of the sand cat's diet. There is documented footage of a sand cat locating a viper by sound alone in total darkness, pinning its head with one paw before the snake can fully coil, and delivering a killing bite to the back of the skull in under 3 seconds. A whole encounter lasts less time than it takes to describe it. There is no hesitation, no learning curve. This is a cat that has been eating venomous snakes for so long that the behavior is simply built in. And when there are no snakes, it eats lizards, desert hares, beetles, scorpions. In an environment where a single missed hunt might mean going 2 days without food, being flexible is not a preference, it is a requirement. The sand cat eats fast, eats everything, and buries what it cannot finish. It will return to that cache the next night if nothing has disturbed it. Waste is not something this animal can afford. Now back to the invisibility problem. Here is what the researchers eventually figured out. Most nocturnal mammals have a layer behind their retinas called a tapetum lucidum. This is the structure that makes animal eyes glow when you shine a light at them in the dark. It reflects light back through the retina a second time, improving night vision. In most cats, the glow from this layer is bright and easy to spot from a distance. Spotlighting, shining a strong beam across open terrain and watching for eye shine, is the standard method wildlife researchers use to survey nocturnal cats. The sand cat's tapetum reflects almost nothing. The glow is so faint it barely registers. Research teams using standard spotlighting protocols in sand cat habitat were simply not seeing the eye shine. The animal was present, active, moving around them sometimes within 100 meters, and their primary detection method was not working. It was not until researchers switched to thermal imaging and improved genetic sampling from tracks and scats that the true picture began to emerge. The sand cat had been there the whole time. Science just needed better tools to see it. That invisibility has caused serious problems for conservation. You cannot set protection targets for an animal when you cannot count it. You cannot measure whether a population is declining if you were never accurately measuring it in the first place. For years, the species sat in a data-poor limbo, listed as near threatened, largely because nobody had confident numbers either way. What has become clear is that the threats are real and accelerating. Off-road vehicles now regularly cross previously untouched desert habitat. The tire tracks compress sand, disrupt micro-ecosystems, and eliminate the loose surface terrain the sandcat's pore structure is built for. Livestock herds, expanding into marginal desert land, eat down the sparse vegetation that supports the rodent populations the cat depends on. In some countries along the Arabian Peninsula and into Central Asia, sandcats are captured live for sale as exotic pets. The animal's face works against it here. Round, flat, almost kitten-like in proportion, it reads as approachable and gentle to people who want something unusual to own. It is not gentle. It is one of the most finely tuned predators alive. Keeping it in a cage is not ownership. It is deletion. In captivity, without the precise temperature swings, the specific prey, and the open dark terrain to move through, the sandcat declines. Its biology is too specifically written for one place. Take it out of that place and the instructions stop making sense. Every individual removed from the wild for private ownership is almost certainly lost to the species entirely. Climate change is reshaping the deserts themselves. The Sahara, the Arabian, the Karakum, these are not static environments. Rainfall patterns are shifting. Sand sea formations are changing. The prey base fluctuates as plant cover moves and disappears. The sandcat evolved over millions of years to match a very specific version of extreme. The extreme is now being rewritten faster than any evolutionary process can follow. This is an animal that survived ice ages, that watched whole species disappear around it and kept walking. That built a life in the one place nothing else wanted, and made that place a fortress. The fortress is changing shape, and for the first time, the sandcat is being asked a question it did not plan for. Somewhere right now, in a darkness so complete that your eyes would give you nothing, a 2-kilogram cat is moving silently across sand that should be impossible to cross. It is not lost. It is not struggling. It covered 8 kilometers in the last 2 hours. It will eat before sunrise. It will be underground before the heat peaks. It will leave almost no trace that it passed through at all. Everything about this animal is a quiet refusal, a refusal to need water, a refusal to avoid the worst terrain, a refusal to be found or easily understood. It has survived by becoming exactly what the desert made it, and then a little more. The question worth sitting with is this, and it is simple. What do we lose if we never truly understand what it knows?